Welcome back, friends, to Jess Writes a Book. I am Jess, and this week's vlog is going to be all about week 3 of the Rough Draft Challenge and continuing on with the 75 Soft Challenge. Okay guys, good morning. It is Tuesday now. I did take a few clips yesterday while I was doing a walk in the morning, so you'll have seen those. But other than that, you have not seen my face. I totally forgot to do like a talking clip yesterday. So it is Tuesday the 15th now. And while I talk to you guys, I am going to do my makeup because I did not have time to do my makeup this morning before I came to work. And I need to get it done because I have my last open enrollment meeting today here in my office at my location where I am. And there's going to be a few vendors here from our different like health benefits and employees, obviously. So I want to have my makeup done, but I just didn't have time to do it before coming into work. I came in early. I got here before 6, or not before 6, but before 7. I got here at like 6:50. One of the first people in the building because I know that I'm going to be busy most of the day today. Doing the open enrollment meeting, so I'm going to be in a conference room answering questions for employees, things like that. We're also going to lunch to celebrate something for one of my coworkers, so that's going to take up some time. And then Thursday, we have like a 4-hour-long meeting to prepare for an audit that we're having done. And then also next week, I'm going to be off on Monday. So I know that my like actual working time, getting tasks done, reports, all the things, is going to be kind of limited and short. So I came in early so that I could get as much done as I could. So I didn't have much time at home. So I'm going to quickly do my makeup as I talk to you guys, which I don't think I've ever done this kind of clip on my channel. I am not a like makeup person, guru, whatever you want to call it, by any means. So this is just how I do it. It may not be right at all, but it's what I do. So as I said in the intro, this week I am going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to I have this little mirror that I have here in the office that I'm going to use. So if I'm looking off to the side, it's because I'm looking in this mirror. I'm sorry. I am going to be focusing on week 3 of the Rough Draft Challenge, like I said. It is, and since I finished my initial read through of Twisted Loyalties, my first step is going to be to add all those notes into my Notion. I want to have a very clear like to-do list and like list of next steps and all the things that I need to work on so that I don't forget anything. I also don't want to have to keep flipping back and forth between the binder. I want to take all those tabs and those notes that I took and have them like easily accessible in one place. So this Notion template is perfect. So I need to go and add all my notes and everything to that, and then I will start slowly making my way down that list. I also want to, when I first started thinking about editing Twisted Loyalties, I had downloaded Sarah Cannon's, she has like an edit your novel workbook, and in her resource library, I will tag her videos down below. You can always access her resource libraries. I think you just have to like sign up for her newsletter. So I went in there and I downloaded and printed that, and the first step was basically what I did. It was to reread your novel and make note of any things that need to be added, any things that you still have in brackets or you're unsure about, any research. So that's what I did. I'm assuming that the next step is going to be to go in and add those things, but I want to look at that workbook again so I can make sure that I'm not missing anything. So I want to look at that, see what she has to say about once you've done that read through. And then I also want to find some resources for like the early stages of editing your book. So if you guys know of any craft books or podcasts or any other videos or anybody on the AuthorTube community who has books about editing novels, please let me know, because I would love to watch those and get some more like advice. So that's going to be the focus for this week at least, or for the first part of this week. I don't think it will take me too long to get everything added into that Notion. I color coded all of the tabs, so I know that each tab kind of correlates to a specific thing. I do have one of my focuses for the 75 soft challenge is to do an hour of VA work every day. I don't always do that because I'm down to 2 clients right now, and I've been working with them for a while, so we have our routine set pretty well. But my client, who is a baker, she just opened her own small bakery in Maryland. She hired me on to do a lot more of admin stuff, and we had a meeting last week, and I have a whole list of stuff I need to do for her and get started for her, so that I can give her like an update and let her know that I am working on the things we talked about. So that's something that I need to focus on at some point as well. What else? I have been wanting to get back into walking, which was on that list. Yesterday I did get up and go for a walk. You saw some clips of that. Wasn't able to this morning because I needed to get into work early. I'm hoping that this afternoon or this evening, after dinner, maybe I'll go for a quick walk. Yesterday morning when I was out, it actually really wasn't too terribly hot. It wasn't too bad out at all. I think the evening will probably be hotter, but I would really like to try to get out for a walk. And because I did a walk yesterday, I did surpass my 5,000 step goal, which typically I do not. So that is another reason to get a walk in. So that is going to be something that I'm going to try to do this evening. But yeah, I think that's basically the update for now. That's the focus for the week. I'm going to get through this meeting, try to start getting some of this information into the Notion template, and then we will dive right into the rest of the week. Okay guys, it is several hours later now. It is 8:15 at night. It was a super crazy busy day. I had that open enrollment meeting, my last open enrollment meeting. Tomorrow's the last day of open enrollment, so things should significantly calm down after this week, thank God. We also had a 40th anniversary celebration for one of our managers, and had a team lunch, and I had a couple of other meetings that I had to go to, so it was a super busy day. And we were doing sprints in the Discord as well. And I made myself some tea, and I'm gonna try to get in 1 or 2 sprints. I am going to start entering all of these notes onto the Notion dashboard because I have not actually started doing that yet. So I did some VA work. I got a post posted for my VA client. I did a couple of posts on my TikTok that I talked about in last week's video, and yeah, now it's time to go down and get into these notes and Notion. I know that I have been procrastinating. I know that I have been. Yes, things have been busy, but I have been procrastinating because I just feel overwhelmed by the idea of editing. And if the camera is shaking, it's because of this little guy that you just saw pop into the screen, who keeps giving me his toy, his pacifier. You're supposed they had a be like round part, and it was a pacifier. Because he always decides he wants to play when I start doing something. So that is why the camera's shaking, because I have you perched on my laptop in front of me on the bed. So yeah, I'm gonna stop procrastinating. I'm gonna get into this. I'm not gonna let myself be overwhelmed by the idea of editing all the things that need to be done. I'm just gonna jump right into doing these or getting these notes into Notion so that I can dive right into draft 2 and finish out July and finish out the rough draft challenge strong. So let's do that.
December, completely drafting the full first draft of the first book in the fantasy series for Project Purple. And what's in Ida? Dog and looking cute back there.
Oh, tired of it. The urge to leave began with the idea of Cricket Song. Dex couldn't pinpoint where the affinity had come from. Maybe it had been a movie they watched, or a museum exhibit.
Morning, guys. Welcome back. It is Thursday now, the 15th, 16th. I don't even remember when I last actually did a face-to-face update. Might have been Tuesday. Work has been busier this week than expected. I'll probably start from like the easiest changes to make and things to fix, and then kind of work my way towards like the harder things. I think after that, then I will start doing any of the research that needs to be done, so that I can add those, or I'll add in any like page breaks and stuff, and then I'll do any research that needs to be done, add those in, add in any scenes that I'm missing, and then so that is when I'll get into really like the second draft, like drafting the second draft and adding more words to the draft. So yeah, I think that's a solid plan to have. Next week is the last week of July, so I think that'll get me a decent way through, the rest of the rough draft challenge. And while I won't have completely finished, revisions or edits for this draft, I'll have made decent progress. So I'm happy with that. I basically already consider myself having won the rough draft challenge because I already finished my entire read through and making all the notes that I wanted to make, and that was really what my focus was for the rough draft challenge. So now everything else I'm doing is just kind of extra on top. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I'm heading in a little bit early because I know I'm gonna be busy for most of the day, so I want to get my usual tasks in, especially because I'm gonna be off on Monday. I took Monday off, so that's the update for now. I will check back in with you guys later on when I have another update. Good morning, guys. It is Friday now. I did not finish entering my notes into Notion yesterday, and it ended up being a crazy busy day. We had to do an audit at work. Did I do an update last night? I don't remember if I updated last night. I'm going to try to get the last of these notes in so that I can finish my next step this week and jump into making those like grammatical and spelling corrections. So we'll see if I can maybe try to get this done today. So I'm going to dive right in. It's about 7:40. I'm at work, as you can see, and my boss won't be until a little bit later. So I'm going to see if I can get some of this done today to start off the weekend. Good morning, guys. It is Saturday now. I don't know what today's date is. The 19th, July 19th. And I have officially finished the next step in revisions for draft 1 of Twisted Loyalties. So at this point, I have done my entire read through, made all my notes in the binder that I printed. Now I have gone in and added all of those notes to the Notion editing template that I have. I've created a to-do list of things to do, and then there's also a tracker where you can track each specific thing that you want to do, whether it's a specific edit or things that you want to keep or things that you need to research or things that are salvageable but need to be rewritten a little bit, things like that. So I've entered all of that. At this point, there are 82 items on that list. Some of them are bigger things, like completely rewriting a chapter. Some of them are smaller things, like sometimes I would forget what last name I'd given one of the guys, and so I have to go back and fix it so that I make sure that the last name is consistent throughout, things like that. So I have a to-do list in there. I have that tracker. I also have a word count tracker for each chapter. So there's a beginning word count for each chapter, and then what the word count will be once I go through and revise the chapter. There's also a breakdown of, I think it's the Save the Cat outline, so you can go through and check that you're hitting each of the beats. And then there is also a daily tracker, basically to check off as you're editing every day to see your consistency. So I have filled everything out. I have added everything to that tracker. Like I said, there are 82 items on there, and then there's probably 20 things on the to-do list. So now that that part is done, I'm another step closer to being done with kind of my revisions and ready to jump into actually drafting draft 2. I think my next step is going to be to go into Dabble and start working on correcting small things, spelling errors and grammatical things, fixing small things like those last names that need to be fixed, small little continuity things. Sometimes I would forget a character's name, one of the side characters, and I would just put it in brackets, so going in and fix those. I might do a search for some crutch words and get those out now, things like that. And then I think I will dive fully into draft 2, which is going to be doing all the research that I need to do, and then using that research to add in any missing scenes. There are a lot of missing scenes towards the end of the book that need to be added in, things like that. So one step at a time. I'm trying not to overwhelm myself and think about all of the things that need to be done. That's one of the reasons why I like this tracker, because I have everything laid out and I can just take it one line at a time, and hopefully it'll help me not feel so overwhelmed. So like I said, it's the 19th now, Saturday. It's about almost 7:30. I have my coffee. I've been sitting down here for about an hour. I don't think we have much going on today. I think it's just going to be a normal Saturday, honestly. I had said earlier in the week that I was taking Monday off, but I don't think I'm going to. Or that's not true. Not think, I know. I know I'm not going to. I ended up switching that day off to Friday, next Friday, and Nick took it off as well, and we were going to do a deep clean of our house and get some stuff hung up that we've been meaning to hang up for a while now. I'm gonna try. Hopefully we'll have time for me to like completely redo my office. And then we might do like a little date night that night. There's this like indoor mini golf place on the strip at one of the casinos that I've been wanting to go to, so we may go do that. But yeah, you'll see all that next week. So yeah, I'm gonna dive right in. Our groceries should be getting delivered here any minute, so I try to get a little bit more in before they get here. Again, I'm gonna dive into starting to make those small changes, get that going, and we'll see how far I can get this week and next week. We have about 11 days left in the month, so we'll see how far into the rest of these revisions I can get, how far into this list I can get. I don't know what I'm gonna do once the rough draft challenge ends. I haven't decided if I want to continue with these edits and then jumping right into draft 3 or draft 2 in August, or if I want to work on some other stuff, or maybe I'll jump around between projects. I haven't really decided. I am excited to start like actually drafting again though, and being able to like fully track words and stuff. My boss is going to be out of the office for the next 2 weeks, so it might be longer than that. Actually, it might be a month. We don't know yet, which will allow me a little bit more time to do some stuff at work. I might try to do some sprints, like live streams, at some point. So yeah, that is the update right now. I'm gonna jump right in and see how much more I can get done this morning. Okay guys, it's a few minutes later and I just remembered that as I was drafting, Dabble has this feature where you can add in like sticky notes onto the actual like manuscript, and there's also a part where it'll kind of divide your screen, and on the side there will be like index cards basically, so you can like keep notes as you're drafting. And I did do both of those things as I was drafting. I think I need to figure out a better like format, or not format, but process of how I keep the notes for like draft 2 and future books. But I just realized that probably what I should do is go through and check those before I will go through, check those, and add them to my list on Dabble so I don't miss anything, and then move on to everything else, so that I know that I've gotten all the notes I have across like all the different platforms and stuff. I'm probably gonna check my Notion too. I had a writing like dashboard for Twisted Loyalties at one point on Notion, so I may check that also just to make sure I'm not missing anything, so that I'm sure that I have all of the notes I have, all of the like ideas and things that I had written down at any point throughout the draft or like drafting process in one place, and then I can kind of check those things off too. So I'm actually gonna do that before I jump into like reviewing and revising misspellings and stuff. Okay guys, it is Sunday now. It is just after 6. I don't think I've gotten very much, if any, footage this weekend, but I've been very productive this week and over the weekend. I finished my read-through of Twisted Loyalties. I updated the editing template on Notion to fit like my needs, and then I went in and added all of my notes that I wrote and tabbed in the binder and moved them all over to that template. I made it, there ended up being like 80 something items on that list. I also made a checklist of things to do, of like separate things to do, and I updated the like Word account that part of that template has a word count for each chapter, so you can see like where your word count started and where it ended for each chapter after like edits. So I went in and added all of those in there for each chapter. And what else? I also started going through the manuscript in Dabble and fixing any like spelling mistakes or any like grammatical things that I caught in that read through. I am on chapter 8 or 9, I think, of doing that. I've already cut not like a ton of words, but maybe like 100 words or something just from doing that. Yeah, it's been a pretty productive week. I started off the week still doing my read through, and I'm ending the week very close to getting ready to jumping into actually drafting draft 2. So I think it has been a very productive week given how busy the week was. And yeah, things are finally starting to slow down around here. Open enrollment is done at work. What else? My boss is going to be on vacation, so things are going to be a little bit slower around the office. Summer weigh-in's done. This is going to be the last week of the Rough Draft Challenge. And then I don't think we have much going on in August, which will be good. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the vlog here. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else tonight. I'm going to try to take the night off and just kind of relax and maybe do some knitting or play the Switch a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.